The Plotcast Podcast with the Potty Plotters.
Hello. Hurry up, Julia. We've got loads to do today.
Sure.
And it looks like it's going to chuck it down.
Well,
there's a
Hello.
surprise. What we need is... Oh, hang on.
Hello.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Yes, right.
Hello.
Hello and welcome back to the Potty Plotters Plotcast podcast. This is season 2.
You didn't know,
It's
did
in
you?
bold.
Written it down for you this week.
Episode 36. And I'm Julia.
Oh, thank the Lord. And I'm Elaine.
Yes,
and this
you
is
are.
Gareth.
Hi.
You can say hello. Yes,
Hello.
right, okay.
Elaine?
Yes.
I've got new neighbours moved in.
Yes, yeah. It's
They're making a
very
bit of a noise.
exciting. Yeah.
Yeah, they've already asked whether it's a problem making a noise. I said no, because we like people to know that we're actually on the plot doing this live on the plot.
And we are, and it
Yeah.
is, we are outside. It's very cloudy and we've got a bit of atmosphere, haven't we,
Yeah,
next
yeah.
Well,
door?
we like a party with a happy
Yeah.
atmosphere. That was Russ Abbott.
Oh, yeah,
So
there.
I want to welcome Glynis and Trevor next door. And,
What plot number?
Plot number
30.
32.
Glynis. Who was it? Glynis and
Trevor.
Glynis and Trevor. Plot 32. Once
Yeah.
you've had that, you know you're there.
You cracked it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we've already talked about where she's going to put flowers.
Oh, well,
All over.
well
Well
done.
done.
Yeah,
Yes,
Trevor
yeah.
doesn't know. He's
No.
cleaning the shed out.
Right.
Isn't it funny how straight away people like compartmentalise and decide what
Yes.
they're going to do? So she is cleaning, sorting, making everywhere look gorgeous. He's straight in the shed, hanging stuff up. It's just how it happens up here, Gareth.
Is it?
Yeah.
Anyway, what were you here for?
So yeah, we've got new neighbours, so that's
Yes.
all very exciting. We'll have them round for a party later, maybe, Elaine, shall we?
Prosecco party.
Oh, I think there's
Yeah.
time for that. Yeah.
So, Gareth, we've had people getting in contact with us, but
We
how
have.
do they get in contact with us?
So, if you have a question, and that goes to... Well, actually, no, Glynis and Trevor can just come across if they want to ask
Yeah.
a question. But if you have a
Got to
question...
climb over an IBC though. That's a big water container,
IBC,
but that'd
international-
be interesting.
Yeah.
An international broadcast centre.
Can be, yeah.
No. In fact, if you are new to plotting, IBCs, you'll often see them around allotments, and they're almost like giant square containers that we then collect our water in. Now, Kev Plot 2
Yeah,
Kev Plot
too.
has very kindly put me a IBC up between my two sheds because...
Do you want to move in now?
No.
Okay. So not that much easy access for Glynis and Trevor then, is
No,
there?
because I
don't like
Assault
them that much.
course.
because I had to listen to Kev complaining a bit on Tuesday.
The breaking news.
Yeah, and but
Oh, hang on. No, I won't bother.
but it's there now. But if you can get your hands on one, that's very useful. And the other thing that I've got
It's just
to
a big
do,
water butt, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
It is.
Massive.
It is, and the most important thing that you need to do with one, when you get them, they are a kind of clear colour, but when you've got it set up, then paint it or cover it with black fabric or something, because of course if you let the light into your water, it's going to go all green and slimy.
Top tip
Top
there.
tip.
Yeah, it was
If
that
you, if you
early.
have any questions about your IBC, then get in touch on
Yeah.
Facebook, Instagram and X at Potty Plotters. And keep having to remind myself I need to update TikTok at The Potty Plotters. You can email. That's probably the best way, really, isn't it?
It is. People do.
Naughty Corner at pottyplotters.uk, or you can check out the website pottyplotters.uk. And this is episode 36, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more left to record of this season. But if you would like to sponsor us, to keep us going, to keep us in tea and exceedingly good cakes, which are Frosty Francis, because it's been a bit cold this week.
They were very nice, actually.
They are
though,
very
Gareth. I mean,
nice, aren't
we've
they?
had
They're
one
not,
each.
they're not exceedingly good, I don't think, anymore. But
Well, he doesn't really make
I don't
them.
think. I
That's
think
the
he's
trick.
dead, isn't he?
Oh.
He must be. I mean, he was ancient about 30 years ago. He was decrepit then. So anyway, if you'd like to sponsor us to keep us in cake and coffee and tea, then you can go to kofi.com/thepottyplotters. That's ko-fi.com/thepottyplotters.
The Plotcast Podcast with the Potty Plotters.
Did you say people have been in touch?
Yes, and somebody apparently has given you a present.
Oh, well, no, somebody hasn't given me a present.
Oh, you're
So
giving us a present?
I'm giving you a present. So
Oh.
I've been away this week. So we're recording this at the tail end of September. In fact, it is the penultimate day of September.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is it?
No.
No, it's really not. You can't add up everybody.
It's too-
He's very good on all of this mechanical stuff.
No,
But
not.
he
It's
doesn't
electronics,
know.
not
All I
mechanical.
know is
Oh.
it's the 1st of October on Tuesday.
So,
Yeah, because
so-
it's bonfire. We just talk over him. It doesn't really matter,
So
does it?
this week I was at a conference for the Labour Party who...
Flipping
You
heck.
were.
Yeah, so normally it was the last day.
Have
so
you
I-
had a back tender for some new clothes? Is that what it is?
Look at this. Have I not?
Oh, no.
But at these conferences, normally, and they'd run out because we were there on the last day, but they normally give away like loads of free stuff. So you get pens and notepads. And there was this lady as we got into the conference hall handing out these. So have one each.
What are they?
Wildflower seeds.
Oh, my God. Right then, well, that's very kind to think of us, Gareth.
But you don't want them, do you?
No.
Okay, fine, I'll chuck them back then.
There you go.
There you go.
Them
So
somewhere.
very ungrateful.
Yeah, scatter them
That was
down
very
the
ungrateful.
road or something.
I did ask
But we need
about...
to explain why.
Yeah, you do in a minute. But I did
Right,
ask
okay.
about... I did see some ministers, and I did ask about whether they've got the allotment minister in place, and they shunned me. So I wouldn't be expecting that call just yet. They're a bit busy sorting out their gardening clothes, apparently, at the minute.
Oh, did you not talk to them about Elaine's availability?
I told them that she's very available.
And that she's very skilled and very knowledgeable.
Yeah. That's probably why they don't want me. I'd have to be Prime Minister within a very short space of time.
It's pretty much like musical
Obviously.
chairs.
Yeah.
But, anyway, so wildflower seeds, why not?
Well, the reason being that whilst, and we have done them up here actually, Gareth, where the beehives are up at the top of the plot. Now, the difficulty is that unfortunately, what happens on the second year, first year is absolutely beautiful, but the second year, unfortunately, we get dominant plants, and the dominant plants then take over, and they're such things as thistles. Thistles then send out their seeds everywhere, and everybody ends up with thistles that are dead hard to get out, actually. So, whilst it is that we really like wildflowers, we really like dahlias.
Yeah, they're not very wild though, are they?
No. We prefer dahlias.
We
though.
prefer our cut flowers where we
Yeah.
can manage them. So
Yeah.
the bees are still getting plenty of flowers.
Yeah.
But,
So these were from a company, or they're sponsored by a company called sunlightbees.co.uk.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's not they're not labour seeds, but they would just happen to be there handing them out. So I thought, well, it's the thought that counts.
I'm
well,
sure
thank you.
there are places, obviously, where they'll be beautiful. And
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking down the side of the road.
Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect.
yeah.
Contact the Potty Plotters anytime on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram at Potty Plotters, or email naughtycorner@pottyplotters.uk.
Anyway, Elaine, back to the script. People won't believe that we have one. Well, it's not a script.
This scrap of paper that I've written on
list.
saying don't forget.
Yeah, we don't have a script because
we never do it.
well, we never follow a script, do we?
No.
We have been given scripts before, and we just seem it's almost like that rebellious streak in us that we can't follow it.
No.
So we just have a list of things we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
And first thing we're going to talk about is Rob Rose the Weatherman. Now we
Rob
were
Rose
meant.
is a weatherman.
Yes. Now we were meant to be
And so is
having
John
him
Ketley.
on this.
No, they do not. You're
Michael
not.
Fish
you never,
is.
Yeah, no,
Was.
it's John Ketley and Michael Fish is. No, you're not having Rob.
we're
He was
not
supposed to be down the line.
He was supposed to be joining us on this here podcast, and
Maybe you scared him off.
well, I think so. I think he's running scared
Well,
because
he's not running anywhere. Well, his nose is running.
dear.
So we've had a valid reason why
But
Rob
a sick
can't join
note.
us. Not really a note.
No.
More sorry I can't do this because I'm not very well. Message.
I think he's
so
scared of
Rob,
us.
get well soon. But I mean, we can do his job surely. I mean, we just look up at the sky, don't
Well,
you?
we
Go,
do it every day,
Yeah.
really, don't we?
Wow.
Because Julia's got a happy app, and a happy app is a weather app because it just gives us a nice forecast.
But
And
I mean,
whether it's
actually,
gonna rain
you're
or not.
closer- Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And you're closer to the truth of what actually does happen, Julia, than Rob Rose.
I'll tell you what,
I'm just
keep
saying.
talking. And
Yeah.
while you're
Yeah.
talking, I'm just going to go and do something quick. I'm going to go on to the Meteorological Society's
Oh, my
website.
word.
See,
I couldn't do it because I couldn't spell
I was
that.
looking forward to speaking to Rob because
Yeah.
I've got
Well, we'll
some
get him on another-
serious questions
I
to
bet you
ask him
have.
about
Yeah.
this season that we've had. Yes, we've
Yeah.
had a dreadful season, so I want guarantees. I want guarantees that next year is going to be better.
You
good
know,
luck
when
with
you're
that.
my permanent undersecretary, we're not having any of this aggression, you know, because
So-
people won't answer their emails back.
So this
Oh,
goes
Gareth's
out.
on it now.
This goes out in. It's not on the as you've listed on the second. This goes out on the 9th.
Oh.
So let's have a look at the long range forecast. I'll just do what he does.
Come on,
Okay, then, yeah.
So up to the 11th. So it does it from Wednesday the 2nd to Friday the 11th. Possibly some rain in the far southeast at first.
Possibly.
Yeah.
What kind
They-
of a word is that?
It's a
That's
get out
a
of
guess,
jail.
isn't it?
It's a get out of jail free card.
Yeah.
But high pressure is likely to become more dominant during the midweek period, so this is towards that part.
Yeah.
Either way, a trend towards more unsettled conditions with rain and showers and possibly some strong winds at times is likely in the week leading up to the 11th. but recovering to above average for a time by the following week. Temperatures near or below, and then lightly trending below average for the following week of the 12th to the... Where are we? The 12th to the 16th. But their long range goes even further. It goes to the end of October. So they are really guessing.
Yeah.
Confidence is rather low throughout this period, but there's a chance of more settled conditions during the second half of October.
Don't believe
With potentially longer periods of dry weather.
Look, that's an even money shot. Either it is going to be right or it's wrong, yes?
However, there remains a reasonable chance that wetter, more unsettled conditions could continue. Temperatures are most likely to be close or slightly above average, especially later in the month, or slightly below.
I think that is written by Julia, isn't it?
It's almost a... It's going to do this, but it might not. But it might do this, but it could do that, and it might not. Yeah. So there's your get out of jail free card. So
well, that's incredible, isn't it? What funny words.
We'll try and get Rob on in the next few weeks when he's recovered and he can talk again.
Yeah, but make him do it.
Well, I mean, making's a bit difficult because he's miles away, but I'll phone him until he answers.
All I want to say is...
I'll phone it off your number and he won't know it's me calling.
All I want to say is, since he's taken charge of the weather, it's
he's
been
not
rubbish.
He's not in charge. Trust me, he's not in charge.
Oh, he's not in charge of the weather.
No. Yeah, so last week you mentioned lasagna, and I thought, well, great. I mean, I'll have it with some salad, some bread.
Yeah.
None of that. So what on earth did you mean?
Right. Well, lasagna is a layering of spring bulbs.
Is it an official term or is it one you've created?
No, we've not made this one
People know it.
Yeah.
Just moving my chair, Gareth, because actually Julia has scrubbed. Look at that.
That's very good.
Magnificent.
That's
This is a big pot.
Yeah.
Julia, how big's that?
That is about 25 centimetres deep by about 25 centimetres
and
across.
In English?
In your language, Elaine, that's about
10 inches.
10 inches.
10 inches. Oh, that'll keep anybody happy. Right then.
Well, it's a nice pot.
It is, and this is going to your house, Gareth.
Nice pots keep people happy.
Oh. Must make a memo of that at Christmas. So you've scrubbed it very nicely. Thank you very much. So it's been reused and recycled.
What was in it last time?
Oh goodness, can't remember. Tomato maybe.
Yeah,
Tomato,
looks like
maybe.
it.
Yeah. I've not used it for a while.
Okay.
No.
So it's a layering process. So, so obviously in a lasagna you have the layers of the bolognese sauce.
Yeah.
And then you've got the white sauce, and then you've got the pasta.
Yeah.
Well, actually, the pasta, and then the white sauce on top of the pasta.
Yeah.
So I assume that you're replacing the bolognese bit with the compost.
Should we just put them in here?
Okay.
So actually,
so I've got to pick the balls out.
Yeah, it's all right, Gareth. Okay. Yeah, because we're going on a purple theme for you.
Nice.
Now,
you like a bit of purple.
Now, Gareth said when we first started this, last week we said I would do this, and then we said, right, we got all the stuff out for him to do it, and then he said, I'm going to the hairdressers, I can't get my hands dirty.
And I then said, well, what the hell has that got to do with? I mean, your head and your hands. Call me picky, but we have got wet wipes up here as well, you big tart.
Okay,
right.
fine.
Anyway,
we'll do it.
Okay, well, you're better at the demonstration purposes.
Right, Elaine, so I'm just going to fill this.
Actually, can I butt in at this point?
Yes.
This may be something I'm doing wrong totally when I'm potting stuff up, and this is something that's been passed down to me from my parents, and I think my wife's parents do it, and she definitely does it, is at the bottom of any pot before I put any compost in, because of the size of the holes, I put some either polystyrene or broken
Crocs.
In. And should I be doing that, or is that something that is it wrong?
Right on my nerves.
Well, this has got quite a few holes in the bottom. I think if you've only got one of those pots with one hole in the bottom, I probably would put some Crocs. But Elaine's now going digging around.
Well, she's not. She's just literally walked over there.
There's some here.
Elaine, you meant to put it
in before the compost.
Yeah.
I was only asking for the dimwits like me that have done it for absolutely everything.
Water can. Right, just make sure.
Because the other problem we have is that if you have holes that are too big, that the
they're
compost,
not too big.
No. I might have some pots that have got big holes.
Is it because we didn't want your bee blooming wildflowers?
No,
is
it's
that
not.
it?
No,
right.
I'm asking questions that the dimwits like me would ask.
Oh, okay.
Right,
anyway.
I've done that for you, Gareth. We've got a first layer.
Okay.
Bolognese.
That's got rid of that broken pot for me. So thanks very much, Elaine.
See, I was doing you a service there.
Yeah, you will.
So
be
a layer of compost.
Layer of compost.
Yeah.
On top of your broken Crocs.
Yeah. So I do that. I put the broken stuff in with everything because I assume that the compost may leak out of the holes.
It is true.
Yeah.
It isn't just that. They get claggy.
Yeah.
And so they block up the hole. So not only does it come through, the other thing is, Gareth, when you take this home, we'll let you. But what we need you to do is we need you to lift it.
That's fine. We've got some
and
bricks.
put it on some bricks or something.
We've got
Yeah.
some
So
bricks.
it doesn't.
We've got some bricks that the sunflowers were on at one point, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
There you go.
Oh,
rid of
well
those.
done, Julia.
Thank
So
you
how
very
many
much.
inches have you got in there?
I'll probably
About 4?
put about 4 inches. That'll be about 10 centimetres to you, my friend.
Okay then. Right then, Gareth. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the first layer of
Alliums.
alliums. And what can you describe them for the listeners, please?
So let me paint a picture of these.
Yes.
So it's a nice. It looks like a photograph, but it's probably a painting or an AI image.
No, it's not.
Nice.
Some nice purple alliums in a field. And the little one, so they've got the long green stalks, and it's the purple heads that look a little bit like, to me, they look a little bit like dandelions that have gone
dandelion
over.
clock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're the nice alliums. So
Yeah, they are.
yeah. So you're opening the pack of bulbs.
Yeah.
Certainly.
I could do this football commentary that I confess I've never been able to
Something,
do.
Julia.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
I'm
so
how many you putting in?
how many are you going to put in there,
going to
Chuck?
put about 7 in there.
7? That's a peculiar number. Where do you
very
get
obvious.
7 from?
It's just somebody she can fit in her hands.
In your little
Well, I
hands.
don't want to put too many because I need to leave room for the next layer
Yes,
of
you
bulbs to
do.
come through.
Yes.
And also, I think it's better to work in odd numbers than even numbers with flowers because it just looks better.
Somebody else said that. Was that?
You do, yeah. Tina does.
Yeah. I thought-
Florists say that as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. There you
So
go.
you're putting them root end
Yeah.
down.
Hairy bottom to the bottom.
Down.
Yeah.
Even
And
I
then
know
the
that
pointy
bit.
endy up.
Yes.
To
Yes.
the
Because you
sky.
really don't want your.
Who's that?
Not me.
It's not me, Julia.
It's me.
Somebody's
them
trying to
off.
get hold of you. Is it your husband? Tell him to clear off.
starter plotters, actually.
Oh,
Tell them to clear off.
Yeah, we're
In fact,
busy.
time to come round here and they can learn something.
There's the first.
They've learnt everything
Oh,
they
I
need to know.
say.
There
Really?
you go.
Now that is pretty near perfect, Gareth.
That looks really
Look
good.
at that.
Thank you. Right.
Well done. So you've gone round in a circle, one in the middle.
So there's plenty of space between them. Now,
Right.
I'm going to put about another 1.5 inches of compost on the top of that.
Okay, you do that while we
3
do
centimetres.
this. Right then, Gareth,
It's
we're
a
going
scoop.
for...
Yeah.
Now then.
Tulips. Oh, they look really nice. That's that dark purple that's called the original black tulip, Queen of the Night.
Queen of the night, indeed. Let's have some of these.
I thought you were a lady of the night.
I think that's a rumour you really don't want to be getting into there.
Right then, so I'm just opening this packet, Julia. If
So
you
you're putting
do,
7
how
in as
many
well?
are you going to put on there?
9.
Oh, build it
Oh,
up.
now.
Now
Do you
then.
know what? I'm going to go for 7 again.
Oh, I say. I tell you what, people are tuning into this and they actually listen.
You are
Well, you think
right.
that.
You are right in the fact that 7 is just the number that I can fit
Get
in
in
my
your
hand
hand.
because any more than 7 they would fall on the floor. Of course, your hands would get about
loads
15.
in. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm going to pop them in now.
And again, pointy end up.
Pointy end up.
Now then, Julia, what if you've planted exactly on top of the last layer? What will happen?
Well, what will happen is that when the shoots of the bottom layer try to come up, they'll hit the bottom of the next layer of bulbs. So my tulips, my alliums will hit the tulips.
Yeah.
And lift
So
them.
yeah, so what I'm doing is working in alternate spaces from the ones below.
Oh.
I know.
Well,
It's like you've
that's
done
a
this
surprise.
before.
She has, yeah. She's got her fingers in here.
Yeah.
So you're going right down.
This
to
is
see
why I
there's
couldn't
nothing
use
in.
mine.
Yeah.
No. Oh,
No,
yeah. Well, we
yeah.
wouldn't want you to get your hands mucky. No.
Especially when I'm going for my haircut.
Yeah. What's to do with your haircut?
With this.
Right then.
So I'm going into town. I don't know where I'm going to go afterwards.
There we go.
Here, come back here, Gareth. We've got jobs
What
for
else
you.
have we got for him?
Right, well, I thought we'd go then for... Now, this will be a lovely topping, Gareth.
Let's have a look at those. Oh.
Yeah.
Blueberries and ice cream.
Yeah, they look like it, don't they?
Yeah.
And these are muscari. Now, they're also... it's not muscara.
Okay.
Right, muscari is...
Muscari.
yeah, and that's also known as grape hyacinths.
Yeah, seem to
because
remember
they
that,
look
yeah.
like hyacinths,
But
but
with
they're
grapes
only
on.
like little ones. So I'll
Okay.
just move these to one
Right.
side. Now we can go mad, Julia.
Okay, let's put loads
Because
in.
I think You're putting your hand out before I'm even ready. Right then.
It's like he's begging, isn't it?
Oh, honestly.
Well, I wondered how many of these I can get
Well,
in my
I
hand.
think we could put them on the top.
Let me see how many.
Regardless. Oh,
So-
my word.
so
Now,
the way
there's
we've
going to be an
done-
incident,
yeah, there is.
isn't
I mean,
there?
there's only
There
been-
is,
yeah.
there is.
I
Right.
don't know how many I've got in my hand there.
There's a competition.
let's
How many
have a look.
balls has Julia got?
Yeah,
Take a picture.
how many thingies
Let's
has
have a
Julia
look.
got?
So
I've got twice
have we,
as many.
have we tied? So the way we've planted
Got
these.
12 in at the moment. Let's
we need
have
another
more.
one.
There we go.
So the way you've planted these in, does it
Yeah.
mean that the muscari will flower first?
Yes.
So you've done it in time order then?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
And,
how long should it last as a kind of a display?
Well, who knows?
Well, only Rob
About
Rose
5
apparently.
minutes, yeah. Well, I'm hoping that these will last for at least 4 weeks, but you might. What I've done in the past is I've done these layers, and then what happens is that in the end, all the flowers are all up at once.
It's very cramped.
It gets dead busy in there. But just have a go, Gareth.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it'll either work or it won't. But the thing is that even if it doesn't,
It'll either work or it won't. There's
but you
today's
could
lesson.
end up with just a whole mass of flowers in
How many
this
putting in?
tub. Loads. We want it to look gorgeous, don't we, love?
Yeah.
Yeah, look at all them.
Nice.
You've got about 50,000 in here now. If
That'll
they
do.
come through, that's
That'll
a
do.
miracle.
Have you got anything else to put in?
No, soil on the top.
compost.
There is a lot more room, isn't there? Let's face it, there'll be some blooming fat squirrels. Hey, have you got any, have you got squirrels at your house?
Yeah, sometimes.
So you need
Right.
to put something on the top then.
Maybe a
to stop-
shower
I've got
cap.
some.
No, not the shower cap. No.
The shower cap would work,
Yeah.
but I've got some chicken wire
Oh, yeah.
and other wire, and what we'll do is we'll cut that for you so that you can stick it on the top.
Will it stop a
and will
cat?
Yes.
Oh, good.
It'll
Because
stop a
she'll
cat and it'll stop a chicken.
because basically
Stop a chicken!
we don't have a chicken.
What's
It's you that had the chicken. It'll stop the cat doing what she does best, which is finding the latest thing we've planted and deciding to dig it up.
Oh, no.
That's because you're giving them nice soft soil to.
Yeah, we'll give her a
Oh, no,
spade,
not.
I would.
Well, I've got some bamboo that needs digging up, so if I give her the spade, she might actually.
Yeah.
That's unlikely.
Well,
She's
there you go.
lazy.
Can I say, Julia,
Well done.
you've done a very nice job
very
there.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Look at that, Gareth.
So it's
well,
not-
there's
so-
nothing to look at. I don't know why I
So I'm
even
looking
said
at that
it, but
and I'm
there you
going,
go.
that doesn't
Well,
resemble the lasagna that I know,
See,
but we'll see what it does in a few
but
months'
I
time.
think they're a lovely present to
They
give
are.
someone for
Yeah,
Christmas
I've
because
had
they'll
that
have them
before.
for Christmas and they'll think, well, what's that? They're giving me a pot with some compost in. But actually, as the spring starts to spring, then they'll have a lovely thing to remember you by.
Yeah. You don't
So I'm not going anywhere.
Julia, is he?
So when we come back for season 3, that's
yeah.
season
Yeah.
3,
Yeah.
we can have an update on it.
You're
So
gonna-
when,
a
so when,
lasagna update.
so roughly when should the first layers start? Would we say?
It depends on the weather. Shall we go back to the weather?
It depends
Yeah,
on
I think
Rob
it
Rose.
depends.
Yeah, so no pressure, Rob Rose, but it depends on you.
I would hope around, what, March
May,
time?
yeah. Well, May
May?
should be in
Oh.
full bloom.
Okay.
I was going to say, yeah.
Yeah.
So generally speaking, things start about around April time. Everything should be
So
out.
we'll have started season 3 because we're starting in the beginning of February. So we'll probably be about episode 8 or 9, something like that.
Oh.
So we'll do some lasagna updates.
Yeah, we'd hope at least there'll be some shoots
Yeah.
popping through.
So I
gosh,
just
yeah.
so I just put it in the garden. Don't need to worry about.
No.
Don't need to water it in or anything.
No, because
we've got
the rain. Yeah,
We've got rain.
Yeah,
Have we got
we've
rain?
Yeah.
But I am going to put the chicken wire over the top, and
Just
then
to
what we
protect
need
it.
you to do is, as they start to come up, you can take that off.
Yeah.
If you take it off before,
Then the
the
squirrels will have it.
squirrels will take all the
Yeah.
bulbs out. If you've got rats,
Yeah.
it's
No, we
even
haven't.
worse.
And also, don't forget to lift it a little
Okay.
bit.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, go
So
on
that's
then.
lasagna.
The Plotcast Podcast with the Potty Plotters.
Now then, Elaine, we've had frost, haven't we? And
We
I
have,
think
yeah.
that's it with the dahlias.
Yeah,
I
I
think
do.
they've all got burnt.
Yeah.
They're all looking a bit black
Fed
and
up.
horrible.
Yeah.
So now is the time to be cutting them down. How far do you cut them down?
Right, you cut them now to ground level if you're going to leave them in the
Right,
ground. Now
okay.
then, the thing with dahlias is that the stalks are hollow.
Yes.
So as soon as you cut them down, you've got to cover so that the rain and the wet doesn't go straight down,
Yeah,
and that
'cause
will
it'll
go
be
down
almost
to the
like a
tubers.
straw, wouldn't it?
Absolutely,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So if you've kept your old compost,
Yeah.
well, we haven't got it now.
No, but if you've got
if you've got some, because we've used it on his lasagna as well.
I mean, if you've been growing...
People are just tuning in and going, we've used compost on his lasagna.
Yeah.
They're going to think that you're abusing me.
Well, we do anyway.
Yeah, well, this is true.
Well, you know, if you're kind of clearing out your greenhouse and you've got old compost from your tomatoes or anything, you can use that. Tip it on top of your dahlias as you've cut them down.
And the other thing is, if you're going to keep them in pots over winter, I've learnt from this. Right, I've got layers of polystyrene.
Yeah.
I put that in my greenhouse on top of the soil.
Yeah.
Then I'll be doing this shortly. I'm not doing it yet because actually the ones in pots look okay at the minute.
Okay.
But cut them down to, the level of the soil in that. Pile it all on the top, more compost on the top. And then if you've got some bubble wrap or anything like that to protect them, well, there you go. Wrap it round. Or you, Gareth, last year, I think it was, gave us loads of big boxes. Cardboard boxes.
Probably did. We probably had something delivered. And
Well, what I did was I put the pots inside the boxes and it protected them really well. So I would recommend doing that as well. And obviously you can use the cardboard in your layering in your compost next year. But that is a really good protector. And literally you're putting them to bed. So cover the top so that they don't ever get wet and nothing. And then put them inside the box, cover the box, and that's it.
So for those people, Elaine, like us, actually this year,
heaven forbid, people like us out there.
People like you.
Who've experienced very wet conditions. I mean, I had dahlias in quite a few beds, and half of them, they literally sat in water and rotted. The other half were fine. So I'm going to leave the ones that were fine because I'm hoping, for anyone who's listening who might know something about the weather, that
Calling Rob Rose.
we're not going to have the same conditions. So I am going to leave the ones that were okay last year in again. Yeah. But the other side, where I've put new ones, I'm going to lift them. So if someone's going to lift their dahlia tubers, what should they do with them?
First of all, you're going to cut them down. Okay. So you get all the greenery, the stalks and the flowers off the top. And then you're going to have your fork, your miniature fork. It's perfect, Julia.
Thank you.
And go some distance round where you think the tubers are going to be. Because I'll tell you now, those tubers that you put in are probably as big as my hand.
Yeah.
So 6 inches.
Massive,
Something like that, about 9 inches really, isn't it, as you span. But that might have been what you put in the ground. Let me tell you, when you start to dig them up, they probably will be twice the size that you put in. They will be massive. I know they will. So you need to dig right the way round rather than going in where the stalks are, because if you do that, you'll split all the tubers and that's it, you've had it. So go right the way round and do like a little circle. Get right the way down, depending on how far you'd planted them, and then start to loosen the soil and get them up.
Right.
When you've got them up, this is what I would do. You've got loads of water around here, haven't we all? And then wash all the soil off. Now then, last year I didn't actually just wash them off. I got my penknife, and one day when it was like this, the sun was out and it was autumnal, it was lovely, I actually pickled all of the soil between all of the tubers. Because it comes out like a great big clump of tubers. And I pickled it all off, and then I wrapped it in newspaper and left it in my shed, not on the floor of the shed. Lift it up and put it on top of stuff, whatever you might have in your shed. Lift it up, even if it's on a plant pot.
Elaine, I've read somewhere that when you dig them up, that you are meant to turn them upside down. Is that just for the first 24 hours and then wrap
to
them?
let the water out? Now, I've not done that, actually. I've never done it, no.
Oh, okay.
And they've worked.
Rebel, isn't she?
She really is. She doesn't follow any rules.
Have a go. I mean, who is it? Somebody said one day they probably were falling and they tipped it upside down and then they left it there and thought, oh, that was a good idea.
So how many times can you reuse the same tuber for dahlia? Is it something like you can only use it a couple of times, or is it something where you can use it endlessly? And what is the best with it? Is it best to leave it in because it's at home in effect, because it's got used to it, or is it better to take it out and give it the respite of the lovely weather we've been suffering.
Well, you never actually know, do you?
It's about the conditions that you have.
Maybe we should do some dahlia counselling.
Yeah. Well, it is about the conditions that you've got. So if we thought that our dahlias weren't going to be sitting in water and then the tubers will rot, then ideally we'd just leave them in, because we'll have bigger, stronger plants next year, and actually it saves us a lot of hassle in getting them out and storing them. However, if, like us, you are going to get really wet conditions and you think they will rot, if you want to keep those dahlias for next year, the best thing to do is to dig them up and save them over the winter. Now, of course, as Elaine said, when they're dug up, Gareth, and they come out twice as big, what you can then do is split them. And you can make more plants, can't you? Now, whether you do that at the start of the season or the end,
we've
start
always
of the
done
storage,
it at the other end, at the beginning of the season, haven't we?
Yeah.
Which is around March time, and that's when we've taken them, haven't we? And we've also planted them loosely and taken cuttings off them as they've started to grow. So that's a whole new adventure that we'll be at next year, season 3, if Julia ever says season 3.
Season 3.
I'm going to save that now.
Yeah, and then use it
Just keep
next year.
reusing it.
Yeah,
Season 3.
Good plan.
Yeah. So
So let's get on with it then.
We better
I think
do.
That's a must. But as I say, don't take them down to the ground floor unless you're going to dig
cover
them
them
up or cover them.
Yeah, okay.
Hints and tips for shortcuts to success. The Potty Plotters Plotcast.
Tights, Elaine. What are you doing with them?
Wearing them, that's what you do, Julia.
Cold.
Oh, you wear them down the allotment?
I wear them on my legs.
Yes.
But I do wear them occasionally, not very often, but they do give you that extra warmth, there's no doubt about it. But tights, I mean, invariably
Welcome
people
to the
chuck
Potty
them out.
Plotters fashion parade.
Oh, you wouldn't want that, Gareth. Oh, it's not a good sight. But tights are really useful. Now then, we've done the lasagne for Gareth, and I was going to ask him if he'd got any tights, and I thought that doesn't sound right, does it?
Well, this is the weekend. No. So the other half doesn't wear tights for work now because she wears trousers, so she wears socks. But before she was buying quite a lot of tights when she was wearing skirts.
Well, if you've got some tights and if you've got some natural colour tights, I would say what you could do, Gareth, is you could get the tights.
Can you see this look on my face? What on earth are you talking about?
So, in protecting your bulbs from the squirrels and pests, what you could do is
you could dress them up like a bank robber.
Almost, yes, because what you do is you stretch the bottom gusset area over your plant pot, and then that will stop the squirrels and the rats getting in and pulling up your bulbs, but it will still allow enough light to get in and moisture to get in so that they will grow. And of course, when they grow and they
what denier type would I use for this?
Oh, I'd say anything less than a 15.
Yeah, the most important things
And
is
where would I get these from?
your wife's drawer. The most important thing is that you have something that's natural rather than a black
You
or
don't
something
want that,
like
black.
No, that's no good.
Somebody's after you again.
Oh, so you'll have to go to your mother's or somewhere and go in her drawer, see if she's got some.
Go in your mother's drawers?
Elaine's
Not
got
right.
some
American tan.
This is just descending.
Yeah, Elaine's got some American tan if you want some. But it does really work because, of course, once the bulbs start to grow and the tops start to show, it means that they've got a nice root system on them. And, of course, it makes it harder then for the squirrels to pull them up. So that's why
It
Elaine
also stops the squirrels having space to drop their nuts in as well.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah,
It does.
because they will bury them.
Oh, yeah, they will. They will. I've seen them do that.
Yeah,
Terrible.
Yeah.
And the other thing is with them, I mean, at this time of year now, we should have dug up of our onions, and we have, and we've dried them out, and they're perfect for drying your onions in. So what you do is you drop the first onion in the foot completely dry, and then what you do is you either tie them or put a peg on and then put the next one, so they're not actually touching one another. And then you can hang them wherever you've got room. I definitely put them in the shed. I was going to say coal house, but so many people listening to this won't have a clue what a coal house is.
No.
Because it's not a house made of coal.
Is it not?
No.
Okay.
No, and it's not a place to put coal because we don't have coal anymore.
Some people do.
So it's not a house.
It's basically a second shed.
It sort of is, yes.
So, Gareth, our advice to you as potty plotters and a novice gardener that you are is just go to the local supermarket and buy some tights for yourself. Now, if anyone asks... if anyone asks...
They don't ask who it's for. It's not like you fill the counter, mate. It's all self-checkout.
Oh, right, okay.
It just logs it on your reward card that you've bought tights, and at some point your other half goes, what were you buying tights for?
And then you can explain to protect your boobs.
I'm loving this conversation.
Tell her to listen to this episode. It'll all become clear. So there you go. That's all we needed to know about tights at the moment. Sprouts, Elaine. Now, I'm glad you put this on the list because the starters, I went to have a look at our starter plots the other day and their sprouts are doing fantastic.
Their sprouts sprouted?
Their sprouts have sprouted. In fact, they're enormous. They're really, really tall and healthy looking.
Well, they can keep them then, can't they?
Oh, yes, you don't like them, do you?
No, I don't.
Yeah. No, it's green and it's good for you.
No, it's not good for you. It's green and it pollutes the environment after you've had it.
No, you do that, Gareth.
No. Anyway, back to the sprouts, which I love so much. So they had got their sprouts and they were looking really healthy and they said, what should I do now? So what I advised them to do, Gareth, what I advised them to do was cut the top off. So, I mean, lots of people consider that a delicacy, the sprout tops.
They used to...
Brussels tops?
Yeah, when it first went to being everyone doing like organic stuff and it was all the rage in like supermarkets to stock organic stuff. Organic sprout tops used to be really expensive.
They are,
yeah.
Because there's only one per plant.
Yeah.
Whereas there's lots of Brussels growing on that one stalk.
And surprisingly, they taste of sprouts. And they are beautiful. So, first of all, I told them to take all the tops off. And I showed them, you can take a good few inches just below the top.
You're pinching it out. You don't need secateurs or anything. You just snap the tops off. Yeah.
You've got your strong hands, you have. I need my secateurs.
Right. But I notice you've got them there. Julia.
Yeah.
It's holding down a piece of paper.
Yeah. So take the tops off and then what I advised them to do was look at the bottom of the plant. And look at the bottom of the plant because you notice that the leaves at the bottom are starting to go yellowy brown. Now they're not going to serve any purpose for the plant other than to attract the slugs and snails because they'll be looking for the decaying matter that is there. So get any leaves off that are changing colour and need to be taken off. You can either snip them off or twist them off as you like. And one of the...
That was some atmosphere.
And one of the starters said to me, they actually thought they had to wait until the whole stalk was full of sprouts. No, you don't, do you, Elaine?
No, you don't, no. And it's the same with taking the tops off.
Yeah.
If you take that top off, you'll find that you're putting the energy back into the plant and you'll get bigger sprouts.
That's right, that's right. And what I advised them to do was start at the bottom
and work your way up.
And it's the ones at the bottom that are actually getting bigger. And, of course, then you can take them as and when you need them for your dinner. So that's beautiful. They were asking, do we need to keep them covered? Yes, you do, because we've got pigeons, magpies and everything. They'll have them.
I mean, if you want to leave them for a little bit longer, depends on how far on they are, how they're growing, etc. What you can do is you can take the whole stalk.
Yeah.
So you pick the whole stalk. You've got the one on the top, obviously the Brussels top, and then you've got the whole row if they have formed. Because as soon as you dig that one up, it's gone. That's it, finished.
Well, I mean, they've got some real beauties.
Yeah. No. Yeah, well, they're going, though. Starter plots have got to go by January, so they haven't got long. But, you can. There's plenty of time in the garden if you wanted to. Not more Brussels.
I was going to say, but you can't plant anything in January. It's
in January.
What are you going to plant in January outside?
Well, you could still do broad beans. You can do your peas. I don't want to. I'm not doing any, Julia. I'm just saying that... I'll do them next year.
Okay.
Yeah. I've bought my seeds already, have I? I have had loads of seeds, and one thing that I have bought a lot of are half-pint peas, and they're the dwarf variety because they did so well this year. Anybody can grow them in meal barrows or in the pots. So actually, Gareth, when your lasagna is finished, you can grow yourself some peas. We can't do it. Pity you can't do it all at the same time. Well, can you? No, it'd block it completely, the root system.
Yeah, it would.
But anyway, it was a little idea. But anyway, I thought I'd tell you about that.
Anyway, enjoy your sprouts, anybody who's listening. Although a little tip is leave it until they've been frosted if you can, because, of course, that makes them a little bit sweeter. And just a little reminder for you to send in your recipes for
Have we had any
episode
yet?
39.
Have we?
I don't know, have we?
Yeah, that's a reoccurring question now, isn't it? So, yes, we have, but Gareth,
Have I got people to phone up now?
you could actually,
Yeah,
yeah.
we do, so-
I've got a whole recipe book.
Oh, you said that last week.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Well, anyway, I've been reading it.
Have you?
Some
Have you done-
brilliant stuff in it.
we-
I haven't done any of them, but you will like them.
Okay.
Not all have
okay.
got so many vegetables in.
No, I like
Loads
vegetables.
of cake and
Oh, hello.
stuff.
Hi.
Yeah.
Oh.
Honestly,
So,
yeah, it's dead good.
send us your recipes in for episode 39, which is the penultimate one. And if you send them to naughtycorner@pottyplotters.uk, leave us your contact details and I will call you up and we'll talk about your recipe.
Contact the Potty Plotters anytime on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram at Potty Plotters or email naughtycorner@pottyplotters.uk.
Thanks for listening to all this nonsense. We have jabbered on a bit this week, haven't we? And next time
Lasagna.
next time we'll be talking about beans and what to do with them. Gareth doesn't like beans, Elaine.
Ah, well,
like a lot,
well,
doesn't
no, I do, because I'm doing something this week that uses fine green beans.
Oh,
I like those. I just don't like runners or kidney beans. particularly.
Belotti,
Broad.
broad. Yeah.
Well, no, raw beans are just
So
they've
it
got
all
the whole
goes on, actually.
butter.
The fact is that he only likes them if they're in
Yeah.
a tin.
with tomato
That is,
sauce.
honestly, that's
I'm
him,
using
isn't it?
cannelloni. What are they-
Anyway, we're
can we
going to
grow some
talk beans
cannelloni
next week.
You can grow what you like.
The Plotcast Podcast with the Potty Plotters is an Amberland Media production.